Hello, everyone. So it's going to be a quick one from me today. I just wanted to recap on kind of where we're at with the growth experiments and to reiterate and realign your targets here. So I'll just run you through a board and we'll describe where we're hoping to be at the moment and where we're hoping to be at over the next few months. So here, essentially, I've just thrown a few of the Miro boards in together in a nice little sequence. I'll just run through exactly how it should look at the moment. So you'll have your perfect customer avatar from right at the beginning of the program. That then triggers which of these marketing channels that you take into this center ring, which then triggers which growth experiments you are undertaking. So we've done those three. By now, everybody's got different time and different commitment to the program. I understand that. But by now, we should have started at least one growth experiment for each of the center ring traction channels that suited your perfect customer. It would be great by now if we had some results for some of these growth experiments, but I'm not expecting you to have every single one of them done in a month. I just wanted to, as I mentioned at the start, realign your strategies here. Some people may be coming into a few problems and starting to feel a bit panicked if it's every single one of their traction experiments is unsuccessful. So I'll dive into some of the key problems that could be occurring at this exact moment. Let's start from the top of this growth experiments tracking. Only you can really be honest with yourself about whether the experiment you undertook was of high enough quality to convince your perfect customer avatar to sign up with you, purchase from you, do whatever action you desire them to do. If you put 10 minutes into the experiment, you just threw something together and threw it out there, and you're trying to sell a high ticket item to an expensive client, you know it's simply not going to work. So only you can be honest with yourself about the quality of the experiment. The next thing I would question is the scale of the test. If you've only put 10 people through this test and it was a very easy one for you to do and it wasn't some sort of personalized outreach sales process, then I would suggest that the scale was perhaps too small. Although I trust that we have defined slightly the correct scale in the first iteration of this. And this is where it's going to sound a little bit strange, but the minimum success metric. So we've obviously got this from taking how much revenue our customer is likely to make us and then working reverse engineering those figures back to what is affordable for your business. But I would say here, if you are struggling with the problem that I'm mentioning of every single one of them being unsuccessful and you don't have an issue with these first two, then the minimum success metric is something that you don't really want to just move the goalposts to make yourself feel better about these things, but you do need to take a look at your goalposts and think, is that correct? Is that realistic? Is there anything I can do on the other end of things? So, for example, can I make my customer worth more to me so that this minimum success metric, i.e. your customer acquisition cost, you can kind of increase that because each of the customers you're bringing in is worth more to you. If you have been through all of these changes and you've simply found they're unsuccessful and you found all of these channels are unsuccessful, then I think it's time that we go back, have a look at the pivoting book and you don't need to make huge changes, but it does sound like you need to make some sort of changes. Now, knowing which changes to make is extremely important, and that's where your customer interviews that you've been having really come into play here, because you hopefully will already have an idea of some problems that people are having with it. If you don't have an idea, rewrite your script, focus a little bit in on some ideas that you might have that are blocking people from moving forwards. Also, in this stage, you have a breaking barriers framework that will help you to understand what issues people are having and why they're not behaving in the way you want them to behave, and therefore what changes you need to make in order for them to behave in the way you wish them to. So just a quick one from me today. Just keep you focused on your growth experiments tracking. Once you get to the end, if you're finding a few of them are successful, maybe spend a little bit more time on those and try and bring them up and up and up and aiming for your goal metric here. And if you're finding a lot of them unsuccessful, hopefully I've given you a roadmap on how to solve that. That'll be all. Thank you.